Alexandra, I want to get your recommendations for FIFA, but let's go back 2 years real quick. Why did you quit FIFA's independent governance committee?
We were running the real risk of just being window dressing, frankly. They brought us in with a lot of fanfare talking about what needed to be done, and then as soon as we started making recommendations, fairly basic recommendations, they started shutting them down.
I want to bring in something you wrote yesterday on Twitter, basically saying that it's very unlikely that Blatter alone, his departure, can make the change. How likely is any real reform? How many people need to go for reform to happen?
Yeah, we're at a real flashpoint with FIFA. The risk right now is that they replace Blatter with somebody who is in that same sort of system of cronyism and patronage, and we just have more of the same. So we're not going to have real change at FIFA unless it's sweeping change. How many people? I don't really know, but the senior leadership has stood by during this parade of scandals, and we're going to need to see real sweeping change.
We have a hard time from the outside understanding what's going on inside FIFA. We look at what happens in the indictment, what we read, and we say, this can't possibly be true. What is the system that allows this to consistently take place?
Well, it's a system with almost no transparency, no real accountability. And again, this trading of favors where whoever sits at the top of FIFA has access to extraordinary largesse that can be doled out to the various football associations completely within the rules, and that can secure loyalty and votes, frankly. So the system is a little unusual and a little opaque, and you don't understand it because few people outside of FIFA can.
Alexandra, help me here with a basic question. What's a bribe? There must be a formal definition of what a bribe is. What is a bribe?
Sure. Well, the transactional definition is I give you something to get something I'm not entitled to in return. So there's lobbying and there are other things, but a bribe is, if I give you this under the table to enrich you personally, you'll do something for me that probably goes against your fiduciary duties.
And that's like a suitcase of cash.
Alexandra, speaking of somebody who's again attempted to fix FIFA, the U.S. indictment treats FIFA like, one reading of it is that it's treating FIFA like an enterprise that has gone completely criminal. Is that the right way to think about FIFA? How do we put this in context in international corruption?
Yeah, I think that's probably a little strongly worded, but we've all heard the comparisons to the mafia, and Blatter hasn't helped himself when he said things like, let's keep this within the football family, and this is nobody's business. And there's been this very strange, isolated sense that they were a power unto themselves.
Alexandra, do these guys think they're corrupt?
I think there are so few controls that rampant corruption has always been possible. I think there are some good actors within FIFA, there's no question, but the entire system has encouraged self-dealing and self-enrichment.